Hey, what's going on, guys? Gil here again. So we're going to be doing the shave. Yes, today I want to dedicate this shave to my father and all the fathers out there. Happy Father's Day. And we're going to be doing a shave just like my dad would do growing up. So before we get into that, let me just throw in a quick clip of some time that I had with my dad. My dad. So yes, that was my father, Gilbert Medina. He passed away a couple of years ago, and he means the world to me to this day. He's the best father anyone can ever ask for. So I just want to dedicate this shave to him. He was a very humbled man. He was very quiet, very peaceful soul, always brought calm to wherever he went. So I love you, Dad, and I know you're watching, so this shave is for you. And what my dad would use to shave growing up, from what I can remember, all the way up until about my teens, my dad used a single edge. I've never seen double edges in my house, but I always remember seeing single edge blades in the bathroom. And from what I can remember, I mean, I don't have the razor, but for what I can remember, he always used a silver razor. So it could have been an Eveready, it could have been a gem, but the only single edge that I have that's silver is my travel Eveready. I featured this before in one of my videos, and I hold this very dear to my heart because it reminds me of my dad. There's the case and the blade holder. It has some original blades, and this is the razor itself. Is very small, but it uses a double edge. So we're going to be loading up a double edge into this. It's the second use on this single edge. So we'll load this up, and then I'll show you what my dad used to shave. So my dad was a very simple man. I never saw shaving brushes in the house, but what I always saw in the medicine cabinet was Barbasol. Yes, I've never used this myself. I've always used, growing up, the Gillette gels and Gillette creams, but he always had Barbasol. It wasn't sensitive cream, it was just the original. It was just all out in the supermarket when I went to go pick this up today. So we're going with the Barbasol sensitive skin. And he always had this. I mean, when I smell this, it brings back so many memories of my dad, and it's very special to me. I went looking all through YouTube. I cannot find one single review or one person using this. Let me know if you do see it out there, because I haven't seen it. I would love to see what their impressions are of it. But my dad loved this stuff. He had it in the medicine cabinet all the time. Canoe. I haven't seen anyone else use it, but he always had this. This is the aftershave, and this is the eau de toilette. So we're gonna use this as an aftershave. Then we're gonna splash some of this on at the end of the shave. And if you guys have never used this or heard of it before, I believe it came out in the 70s, and it has a very fresh barbershop scent to it. So I don't use it often, as you can see. I mean, you can still find it on eBay. I think some stores may even still carry it, but I didn't see it anywhere around where I live. So I ordered this up on eBay. It was a brand new set. It's a smaller, like a travel set or a sample set. I would love eventually to get one of the bigger bottles if I find it. But this is what he used, so this is what we're gonna use today. And like I said, no shave brush. He would just take the lather or the cream and put it directly on his face. So that's what we're gonna do today as well. I used to watch him shave, so he always put a ton of cream on his hand. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm just gonna work this in, because he never used the brush, so I'm not gonna use a brush. If it was good enough for him all those years, it's good enough for me. So I'll work this in, and then I'll go over and we'll probably put just another layer on top. Alright, I probably have more than enough that I need. And what my dad would do, whatever was left on his hands, he would scoop it and he would put it right on the edge of the sink. So, single edge blade, left side. This is for you, Pops. I love you. I love single edge blades. I really do. I think part of that love comes from knowing that my dad used them for so many years. What I would give to have my father's razor right now. Like I was saying, I remember him using this all through my teens. And then, I don't exactly remember when, but he switched over from a single edge to a Gillette Sensor XL, I think sometime in the 80s. And when I started shaving in the 90s, when I got to high school, I used the exact same razor he did. So maybe I'll pick one of those Gillettes up just to have it in memory of him. I was looking at them on eBay, and those things are going for some ridiculous price. But so far so good. I can tell you this, not much slickness left once you get the cream off. But it's definitely getting the job done. I love this Gillette. Sorry, this Ever Ready too. It's sort of like a, maybe you guys can explain to me, but it's sort of like an in-between of a open comb and the closed comb. It's all open down here, and it really lets the cream come through. So I really enjoy it. The one thing about these blades though, it's so wide here because of the extra steel. So to get right up under the mustache is always the hardest for me. Especially, you know, trying to keep that angle, because I know with these single edge, you basically want to keep that angle as close to the face as possible. Alright, but that's the first pass. Like I said, the slickness on the Barbasol, not the best. But does it work? Absolutely. Absolutely. Definitely works. And I picked this can up for $1.50 at my local grocery store. I know you can get them as cheap as like 99 cents from the discount stores or even Walmart. So I've always said you don't need the latest and greatest. It's always nice to have, but sometimes keeping it simple, and if that's all you can afford or all you have available to you, you can still take some pride in what you do, even with having the simplest gear. It worked for him for all those years. So second pass, I always go with the grain and then I go cross grain. I never go against the grain. In my opinion, it's just not worth it. The irritation and the redness that I get, not worth it. 2-pass shave always works for me. If I find any spots at the end that I need to clean up, I'll just go over it a couple of times, buff it up, and keep it moving. But yeah, I really love the way this Ever Ready performs. It works. Working out good.
In my neck area, I always go up.
On the second pass. My dad was never really into Old Spice. I can remember him saying, that stuff stinks. He never liked it. But he loved his canoe. I don't particularly mind Old Spice, you know, I'll throw it on every once in a while. Definitely gotta hit the chin area up probably one more time. But gotta throw the Barbasol on. I think that's a shave right there, guys. Very nice. Very enjoyable. I think that's a wrap for tonight. So we'll just clean up the face. We'll dry it off. And like I said, my dad never used any fancy products. Barbasol and Canoe aftershave. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do tonight. Oh, this stuff smells great. Just reminds me of him. Has alcohol, so definitely feel the burn. Nice though. No irritation. No uncomfortable stinging. Nice. That was a great shave. That was a really nice shave. I mean, I would love to break out a nice artisan soap today, but my dad never used that stuff. That stuff wasn't even around. And this is on the toilet. I'll just splash on a little bit. Smells like dad in this bathroom right now. So yeah, this is it. My dad, Barbasol, a single edge, and some good old canoe. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for the continued support. And don't forget, go out there and say Happy Father's Day to your father if you have him available to you. I want to wish everyone out there Happy Father's Day. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Have a good one.